Dear friends, in this series of lectures, we are trying to analyze and recommend suggestion for both teachers and parents as well as the school managements to know where the child exactly stands. This is a very vital and important question that every parent, especially nowadays, we have more single child houses, and therefore every parent is very much anxious, at least up to higher secondary level, where their child exactly stands. One of the very important questions that is being raised in the parent-teachers meeting, and where the teacher, otherwise the management of the school, has to reply with a firmness, that is, with the confidence. That is, they should be scientific, they should be convincing. In that aspect, the main question that is asked is, in the classroom, where my son or daughter stands exactly in their academic performance. Here, mainly we are dealing about the academic performance. Of course, the holistic personality development of a child is attributed to so many other values that we will be suggesting in our next slides. Here, let us try to understand comprehensively. Anything that is measurable can only be authentic. That's the reason why we always insist on mathematical analysis for any science as well as arts, even in economics, everywhere, because it provides us an undamping solution. This is very vital. Now, we have got an empirical formula to know about the position of the child. The various levels where the ranking has to be done is there. Normally, in the class, some students may be the class topper, some students may be school topper because different sections will be there in the same standard, and then region wise, state wise, and then country. So in various stages, a child should know itself where exactly it stands. So the teacher has a responsibility to educate the parent with these instruments. How this can be calibrated. That is, these are all the process of standardization of education. Now, we try to understand that. I told you first the academic mark level of the subject. Another thing is pertaining to the positioning of the child when it comes to micro level entity. Supposing a child is weak in a particular subject, where most of the students in the class score more marks and all, and what is the effort that it has to put in. This should be explained in a convincing manner to the parent during parent-teacher meeting, and that's why they can very well understand where exactly the position of the child is. That's the reason in the next video we will be in a position to explain about the learning effectiveness, the teaching effectiveness, because some parents with some anxiety, nowadays most of the parents are educated parents and they just compare. Though we insist that we should not compare a child with another child's performance, the parents will always come that Master X is getting this much and all, whereas this boy is getting this much. How this is discriminating, and whether we want to know whether teaching was uniform for all and all. All these things we have to objectively, with ration, with the scientific temper, should explain. So this is the secret where some private school which practices these types of academic audit and try to inculcate these aspects are in a position to navigate or the art of parenting. That's more apt word. The art of parenting is being inculcated in the parent community of the school. The stakeholders are the student, parent, as well as the school management, which comprises of the teacher, principal, vice principal, administrator, and so on. Now, let us try to analyze. Another important factor that we have to understand here is regarding the competitive examination. In the general competitive examinations, say for example, NEET and other such examinations, IIT, JEE, etc., the student should know where the cutoff, the last cutoff mark of the last year's selection. And now, when he is attempting some mock test and other thing, what is his score, and he should try to understand, evaluate himself where his position is. Then I tell you, this is once again micro teaching. For example, in physics, last year, the marks scored by the first candidate in physics examination in the main part. When you just consider that advanced level papers, we can very well understand that it was just 39. And the boy in his mock test has scored only 32. So, when you calculate, the percentage need to be improved. The percentage needed for improvement, that is more important. We are trying to how to calculate percentage improvement needed. That is, we fix the target mark score by the student, that's what indicated mark scored by you, divided by mark scored by you. Expressed in percentage, it is multiplied by 100. So try to remember, in that subject, the first ranker has scored only 39 out of 100 in a particular subject. However, the student has secured only 32 marks in his mock test. He is now calculating this. Total mark 39 minus 32 divided by 32 into 100, it is 21.8%. That is, this gives in nutshell, 21.8% is needed in his preparation. I told you, this is a very critical aspect. That means, in that particular weightage of the different chapters in that subject, what are all the various mark levels that are indicated, the number of questions that are being asked, and how many marks he is getting. So, if there are 10 chapters, 10 units, the student need not always be thorough with all the 10 units when they are appearing for such a competitive examination, where the end that proves the means. There are certain other places where the means plays a role. So here it is they have to conquer. So he has identified some 6 chapters, and from that he has scored 32. Now when he concentrates on certain other chapters, and when he is capable of scoring some 40 marks definitely, then you see 39 minus 39 by 39 will be that much. That means he is in a position to score that top ranker mark. So, for the selection process of the units required, for that also this empirical formula is more useful. I tell you, this is a classical example of a classroom observation. You see, in a maths subject, the first ranker has scored 95. The parent asks, what is my position? The child has scored only 74. So 95 minus 74 divided by 74 expressed in percentage gives me 28.4%. That means he has to improve nearly by 29%. If he can improve in his studies 29%, that is, he has to put in more effort, and then he can achieve this first ranker's position. So this is a very vital aspect. Here, we say in another subject, the student has scored only 35 marks, whereas the first boy in the class or in the school, he has scored centum. There are a number of centum holders you know practically. So when you take this particular calculation, 100 minus 35 by 35 expressed in percentage comes to 185.7. You know, he is a slow learner. He has to put in nearly 200 times the effort. That is the thing. See, this will relatively make some impulse. This type of stress, I don't call it as stress, but I say when the boy or the girl is in a position to understand himself where exactly he stands. This is yet another example. Here we find that the first mark scored in a particular subject is 49. Whereas what the child has scored is only 33, then we say the percentage improvement that is needed is 48.5%. I am giving this analysis here. This is 39 and 32. Here the difference is wide. The percentage needed is also this much, nearly 50%, 48.5%. He has to improve. Whereas when you consider here, it is just 7 marks difference, and therefore we find that if he puts in some 21, around 22% of improvement, automatically he will be in a position to come to that level, Fermi level. We define the first rank holders level. If you consider any category, in the earlier CBSE pattern, we were having the scores were graded like that and all. If you score more than 91, up to 100, they will be considered one like that. Normalization procedures. So when normalization procedures come, what is that least mark that is there available for the top bracket that you take? So that will be giving some encouragement so that your positioning will automatically make you to understand where exactly the child stands. So dear friends, this video we are trying to take one concept, that is how to calculate percentage improvement needed. And the empirical formula we prescribe here will be target mass scored minus mass scored by u divided by mass scored by u into 100. That is, to know it in percentage, we multiply by 100. So we have some 4 examples that are being listed here depicting different values, and we will be in a position to understand exactly. You see, this is a convincing method of meeting the parents and trying to educate them that scientifically, if they start selecting what are the easier portions, what are the middle order portion, what are the tough portions, where he has to concentrate more, the weakness to be known, and all these things. And the subject wise, that is a unit wise classification of marks and other synthesis. Some places they don't give the blueprint. And then, but from the previous year question papers and from the trend of the papers, we can very well understand the weightage of marks that are being distributed, and the child may be very much interested in certain parts, and thereby his knowledge can be enhanced if we critically explain where exactly he stands. So in the next video, let us try to understand from the mark register how we are trying to calculate the various parameters like teaching effectiveness, learning effectiveness, so that which will also help the parent to assess exactly what is going on in the school, because in some schools during Saturdays they allow some parents in the higher level classes to come and attend some classes, classroom lectures. But with a single lecture, they cannot judge. But when you continuously assess them with these learning and teaching experiences and these aspects, effectiveness will be in a position to tell you what exactly is needed for the wholesome development. And this is purely what I can say is a rational, scientific, unbiased way of calculating things. That which cannot be quantized cannot be measured. That which cannot be measured cannot be explained with values. The truth comes only through measurements. That's why we say physics is the study of accurate measurement. Thank you.